Chapter 5 Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapradantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guruna Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sa Advaitam Savadhutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे नमः ओं विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते गोपाल कृष्ण गोस्वामिनिति नामिने प्रभुपादस्य साहित्ये यः प्रकाश्य व्यतिरिय च प्रचारं कृतवान् साधु भगवत्पादाय ते नमः हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Chapter 5 The Glories of Lord Nityananda Balram. This chapter is chiefly devoted to describing the essential nature and glories of Sri Nityananda Prabhu. Lord Sri Krishna is the absolute personality of Godhead, and his first expansion in the form of pastimes is Sri Balaram. Beyond the limitation of the material world is the spiritual sky, Paravyoma, which has many spiritual planets, the supreme of which is Krishna Loka. Krishna, Krishna Loka, the abode of Krishna, has three divisions, which are known as Dwarka, Mathura, and Gokula. In that abode, the personality of Godhead expands himself into four plenary portions: Krishna, Balaram, Pradyumna, the transcendental Cupid, and Anirudh. They are known as original quadruple forms. In Krishna Loka, in Krishna Loka is a transcendental place known as Shvetadweep or Vrindavan. Below Krishna Loka in the spiritual sky are the Vaikuntha planets. On each Vaikuntha planet, a four-handed Narayan, expanded from the first quadruple manifestation, is present. The personality of Godhead known as Sri Balaram in Krishna Loka is the original Sankarshan, attracting deity. And from this Sankarshan expands another Sankarshan, called Mahasankarshan, who resides in one of the Vaikuntha planets. By his internal potency, Mahasankarshan maintains the transcendental existence of all the planets in the spiritual sky, where all living beings are eternally liberated souls. The influence of material energies is conspicuous there by its absence. On those planets, the second quadruple manifestation is present. Outside of the Vaikuntha planets is the impersonal manifestation of Sri Krishna, which is known as Brahmaloka. On the other side of Brahmaloka is the spiritual Karana Samudra or causal ocean. The material energy exists on the other side of causal ocean without touching it. In the causal ocean is Mahavishnu, the original Purusha expansion of from Sankarshan. Mahavishnu places his glance over the material energy, and by a reflection of his transcendental body, he amalgamates himself within the material elements. As the source of the material elements, the material energy is known as Pradhan, and as the source of manifestations of material energy, it is known as Maya. But the material energy is inert in that she has no independent power to do anything. She is empowered to make the cosmic manifestation by the glance of Mahavishnu. Therefore, the material energy is not the original cause of the material manifestation. Rather, the transcendental glance of Mahavishnu over the material nature produces that cosmic manifestation. Mahavishnu again enters every universe as the reservoir of all living entities. Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. From Garbhodakshaya Vishnu expands Shirodakshaya Vishnu, the supersoul of every living entity. Garbhodakshaya Vishnu also has his own Vaikuntha planet in every universe, where he lives as the supersoul or supreme controller of the universe. Garbhodakshaya Vishnu reclines in the midst of watery portion of the universe and generates the first living creature of the universe, Brahma. The imaginary universal form is a partial manifestation of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. On the Vaikuntha planet, in every universe is an ocean of milk. Within that ocean is an island called Shvetadweep, where Lord Vishnu lives. Therefore, this chapter describes two Shvetadweeps, one in the abode of Krishna and other is in the ocean of milk in every universe. The Shvetadweep in the abode of Krishna is identical with Vrindavan Dham, which is the place where Krishna appears himself to display his loving pastimes. In the Shvetadweep, within every universe, is a Shesha form of Godhead who serves Vishnu by assuming the form of his umbrella, slippers, couch, pillows, garments, residence, sacred thread, throne, and so on. Lord Baladev in Krishna Loka is Nityanand Prabhu. Therefore, Nityanand Prabhu is the original Sankarshan and Mahasankarshan, and his expansion as the Purushas in the universes are plenary expansions of Nityanand Prabhu. In this chapter, the author has described the history of his leaving home for a personal pilgrimage to Vrindavan and is achieving all success there. In this description, it is revealed that author's original paternal home and birthplace were in the district of Katwa, in the village of Jhamatapur, which is near Naihati. Krishnadas Kaviraj's brother invited Sri Niketan Ramadas, a great devotee of Lord Nityananda, to his home, but a priest named Gunarnava Mishra did not receive him well, and Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami's brother, not recognizing the glories of Lord Nityananda, also took sides with the priest. Therefore, Ramadas became sorry, broke his flute, and went away. This was a great disaster for the brother of Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. But on that very night, Lord Nityanand Prabhu himself graced Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami in a dream and ordered him to leave on the next day for Vrindavan. Now going on texts. Text 1. वन्दे अनन्ताद्भुतैश्वर्यं श्रीनित्यानन्दमीश्वरं यस्येच्छया तत्स्वरूपम् अज्ञेनापि निरूप्यते. Vande, let me offer my obeisances. Ananta, unlimited, Adbhuta, and wonderful. Aishwaryam, whose opulence. Sri Nityanandam, unto Lord Nityananda. Ishwaram, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yasya, whose Ichchaya, by the will. Tatswarupam, his identity. Agyenapi, by the ignorant, even. Nirupyate, can be ascertained. Translation. Let me offer my obeisances to Lord Nityananda, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whose opulence is wonderful and unlimited. By his will, even a fool can understand his identity. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya, all glories to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Jaya Nityananda, all glories to Lord Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya, all glories to Advaitacharya. Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, all glories to devotees of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Translation. All glories to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all glories to Lord Nityananda, all glories to Advaitacharya, and all glories to all the devotees of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. ए सात श्लोके कहिला कृष्ण चैतन्य महिमा पंच श्लोके कही नित्यानंद तत्व सीमा. ए षट श्लोके, this in 6 verses Kahila described Krishna Chaitanya Mahima, the glories of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Panchashloki, in the 5 verses Kahi, let me explain Nityananda, of Lord Nityananda, Tattva, of truth, Seema, the limitation. I have described the glory of Sri Krishna Chaitanya in 6 verses. Now in 5 verses I shall describe the glory of Lord Nityananda. सर्व अवतारी कृष्ण स्वयं भगवान ताहर द्वितीय देह श्री बलराम. सर्व अवतारी, the source of all incarnations, Krishna, Lord Krishna, Swayam Bhagavan, personally the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Tahar, his, Dvitiya, second, Deha, expansion of the body, Shri Balaram, Lord Balaram, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, is the fountainhead of all incarnations. Lord Balaram is his second body, purport. Lord Sri Krishna, the absolute personality of Godhead, in the is the primeval Lord, the original form of Godhead, and his first expansion is Sri Balaram. The personality of Godhead can expand himself in innumerable forms. The forms that have unlimited potency are called Swamsh, and the forms that have limited potencies, the living entities, are called Vibhinnamsh. एक ही स्वरूप दोहे भिन्न मात्र काय आद्य काहे व्यूह कृष्ण लीला रसहाय एकाई one स्वरूप identity दो हैं both of them भिन्न मात्र काय only two different bodies आद्य काय व्यूह original काय व्यूह quadruple expansions Krishna Leela in the past tense of Lord Krishna Sahaya assistance these two are one and the same identity they differ only in form Lord Balaram is the first body expansion of Krishna and he assists in Lord Krishna's transcendental past tense Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Balaram is the Swamsh expansion of the Lord, and therefore there is no difference in potency between Krishna and Balaram. The only difference is in their bodily structure. As the first expansion of Godhead, Balaram is the chief deity among the first quadruple forms, and he is the foremost assistant of Sri Krishna in his transcendental activities. सेई कृष्ण नवदीपे श्री चैतन्य चंद्र सेई बलराम संगे श्री नित्यानंद सेई कृष्ण the original Krishna Navadvipe at Navadvip Sri Chaitanya Chandra Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Sei Balaram that Lord Balaram Sange with him Sri Nityananda Lord Nityananda that original Lord Krishna appeared in Navadvip as Lord Chaitanya and Balaram appeared with him as Lord Nityananda. Text 7 संकर्षण कारण तोयशायी गर्भोदशायी च पयोब्धिशायी शेषश्च यस्यांशः कला स नित्यानन्दाख्य रामः शरणं ममास्तु संकर्षण महासंकर्षण in the spiritual sky कारण तोयशायी Karana Dakshayi Vishnu who lies in the causal ocean, Garbha Udashayi, Garbhodakshayi Vishnu who lies in the Garbhodak ocean of the universe, Cha and Payabdishayi, Shirodakshayi Vishnu who lies in the ocean of milk, Shesha, Sheshana, the couch of Vishnu, Cha and Yasya whose Amsha, plenary portions, Kala, the parts and parts of plenary portions, Sa, he, Nityanandakya, known as Lord Nityananda, Rama, Balarama, Lord Balarama, Sharanam, shelter, Mama, my, Astu, let there be. Translation May Sri Nityananda Ram be the object of my constant remembrance. Sankarshana, Sheshnag, and the Vishnus, who lie in the Karana ocean, Garbha ocean, and oceans of milk, are his plenary portions and the portions of his plenary portions. Purport Sri Swarup Damodar Goswami has recorded this verse in his diary to offer his respectful obeisances to Lord Nityananda Prabhu. This verse also appears as the seventh or the first 14 verses of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Shri Balaram Gosai Mula Sankarshana Pancharupadhari Karena Krishnera Seva Shri Balram Gosai the Lord Mula Sankarshana the original Sankarshana Pancharupadhari accepting five bodies Karena does Krishnera of Lord Krishna Seva service Lord Balram is the original Sankarshan. He assumes five other forms to serve Lord Krishna. Text 9. अपने करेण कृष्ण लीला सहाय सृष्टि लीला कार्य करे धरि चारिकाय अपने करेण personally performs Krishna Leela Sahai assistance in the past tense of Lord Krishna Srishti Leela or the past tense of creation Karya the work Kare does Dhari accepting Charika four bodies Translation He himself help in the past tense of Lord Krishna and he does the work of creation in four other forms सृष्टि आदिक सेवतार अज्ञार पालन शेष रूपे करे कृष्णेर विविध सेवन सृष्टि आदिक seva service in the matter of creation star his agyar of the order palan execution shesha rupe the form of Lord Shesha kare does krishnera of Lord Krishna vividha seva varieties of service translation he executes the order of Lord Krishna in the work of creation and in the form of Lord Shesha, he serves Krishna in various ways. Purport According to expert opinion, Balaram as the chief of the original quadruple forms is also the original Sankarshan. Balaram, the first expansion of Krishna, expands himself in five forms Mahasankarshan, Karanabdishai, Garbhodishai, Shirodishai, and Shesha. These five plenary portions are responsible for both spiritual and material cosmic manifestations. In these five forms of Lord Balaram, assist Lord Krishna in his activities. The first four of these forms are responsible for cosmic manifestation, whereas Shesha is responsible for personal service of the Lord. Shesha is also called Ananta, Anant, or unlimited because he assists the personality of Godhead in his unlimited expansions by performing an unlimited variety of services. Sri Balaram is the servitor Godhead who serves Lord Krishna in all affairs of existence and knowledge. Lord Nityananda Prabhu is the same servitor Godhead. Balaram performs the same service to Lord Gauranga by constant association. सर्वरूपे आस्वादये कृष्ण सेवानंद से बलराम गौर संगे नित्यानंद. Sarvarupa in all these forms aswadaye taste Krishna Sevananda, the transcendental bliss of serving Krishna. Say Balaram, the Lord Balaram, Gaura Sangi with Gaura Sundar, Nityananda, Lord Nityananda. Translation: in all forms he tastes the transcendental bliss of serving Krishna. That same Balaram is Lord Nityananda, the companion of Lord Gaurasundar. Text 12. सप्तम श्लोके रे अथ करि चारि श्लोक यते नित्यानंद तत्व जाने सर्वलोक. Saptama Shlokera of the seven verse Artha, the meaning Kari, I do Chari Shloke in the fourth verses Yate, in which Nityananda Tattva, Lord, the truth of Lord Nityananda, Jane, one knows Sarvaloke, all over the world. Translation: I've explained the seventh verse in four subsequent verses. By these verses, all the world can know the truth about Lord Nityananda. मायातीत व्यापि वैकुण्ठलोके पूर्णैश्वर्य श्रीचतुर्व्यूहमध्ये रूपं यस्योद्भाति सङ्कर्षणाख्यं तं श्रीनित्यानन्दरामं प्रपद्ये. Mayatite, beyond the material creation, Vyapi, all expanding, Vaikuntha Loki, in the Vaikuntha Loka, the spiritual world, Purnaishwarya, endowed with full opulence, Sri Chaturvyuha Madhye, in the quadruple expansions, Vasudeva, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, and Anirudh, Rupam, form, Yasya, whose Udbhati appears, Sankarshanakyam, known as Sankarshana, Tam, to him, Sri Nityananda Ramam, to Lord Balarama, in the form of Lord Nityananda. Prapadye, I surrender unto the lotus feet of Sri Nityananda, who is known as Sankarshan in the midst of Chaturvyu, consisting of Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, and Anirudh. He possesses full opulences and resides in Vaikuntha Loka, far beyond the material creation. This is the verse from Sri Sarup Damodar Goswami's diary. It appears as the 8th verse of the 14 verses of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. प्रकृत पर परव्योम नामे धाम कृष्ण विग्रह ये छे विभूति आदि गुणवान. Prakritir, the material nature, para, beyond, paravyoma, the spiritual sky, name, name, the name, dham, the place, Krishna Vigraha, the form of Lord Krishna, Yeche, just as Vibhuti, like six opulences, Gunavan, full with transcendental attributes. Translation: beyond the material nature lies a realm known as Paravyoma, the spiritual sky. Like Lord Krishna himself, it possesses all the transcendental attributes such as the six opulences. According to Sankhya philosophy of the material cosmos is composed of 24 elements. The 5 gross material elements, the 3 subtle material elements, the 5 knowledge acquiring senses, the 5 active senses, the 5 object of sense pleasure, and the Mahat Tattva, the total material energy. Empiric philosophers unable to go beyond these elements speculate that anything beyond them must be avyakta or inexplicable. But the world beyond the 24 elements is not inexplicable, for it is explained in Bhagavad Gita as the eternal Sanatan nature beyond the manifested and unmanifested existence of material nature. Vyakta Vyakta is the Sanatan nature, which is called the Paravyoma, the spiritual sky. Since that nature is spiritual in quality, there are no qualitative differences. There, everything is equally, everything is good, everything is spiritual, everything is good, everything possesses the spiritual form of Sri Krishna himself. That spiritual sky is manifested in internal potency of Sri Krishna. It is distinct from the material sky manifested by his internal potency. All pervading Brahman, composed of impersonal glowing rays of Sri Krishna, existing in the world, spiritual world with Vaikuntha planets. We can get some idea of that the spiritual sky may by a comparison to the material sky. For the rays of the sun in the material sky can be compared to the Brahmajyoti, the glowing rays of the personality of Godhead. In the Brahmajyoti, there are unlimited Vaikuntha planets, which are spiritual and therefore luminous, with, with a glow many times greater than our sun. The personality of God is Sri Krishna, his innumerable planetary portion and the portion of his planetary portion dominate each Vaikuntha planet. In the highest region of spiritual sky is a planet called Krishnaloka, which has three divisions, namely Dwarka, Mathura, Gokul, or Goluk. To a gross materialist, this kingdom of God, Vaikuntha, is certainly a mystery. But to an ignorant man, everything is a mystery for want of sufficient knowledge. The kingdom of God is not a myth. Even the material planets which float over our heads in millions and billions are still a mystery to the ignorant. Material scientists are now attempting to penetrate this mystery, and a day may come when the people of this earth will be able to travel to outer space and see the variegatedness of these millions of planets with their own eyes. In every planet, there is as much material variegatedness as we find in our own planet. The planet Earth is but an insignificant spot in cosmic structure, yet foolish men puffed up by a false sense of scientific advancement have concentrated their energy in the pursuit of so-called economic development on this planet, not knowing of the variegated economic facilities available on other planets. According to modern astronomy, the gravity of the moon is different from that of Earth. Therefore, one who goes to the moon will be huge will lift huge weights as heavy as hills and jump over the ocean. Modern astronomy has confirmed that this is indeed possible. The disease of the modern civilized man is his disbelief of everything in the revealed scriptures. Faithless non-believers cannot make progress in the spiritual realization, for they cannot understand the spiritual potency. The small fruit of banyan contains hundreds of seeds, and in each seed is the potency to produce another banyan tree the with the potency to produce millions more such fruits. This law of nature is visible therefore, although how it works is beyond our understanding. This is but an insignificant example of the potency of God. There are many similar phenomena that no scientist can explain. Everything, in fact, is inconceivable, for the truth is revealed only to the proper persons. Although there are varieties of personalities, from Brahma down to an insignificant ant, all of them are living beings. Their development of knowledge is different. Therefore, we have to gather knowledge from the right source. Indeed, in reality, we can get knowledge only from Vedic sources. The four Vedas with the supplementary Puranas, the Mahabharata, the Ramayana, and their corollaries, which are known as smritis, are all authorized sources of knowledge. If we are at all to gather knowledge, we must gather it from these sources without hesitation. Revealed knowledge may in the beginning be unbelievable because of our paradoxical desire to verify everything with our teeny brains. But the speculative means of attaining knowledge is always imperfect. The perfect knowledge propounded in the revealed scriptures is confirmed by the great acharyas, who have left ample commentations upon them. None of these acharyas has disbelieved in the Shastras. One who disbelieves in the Shastras is an atheist and we should not consult an atheist, however great he may be. A staunch believer in Shastras with all their diversities is the right person from whom to gather real knowledge. Such knowledge may seem inconceivable in the beginning, but when we put forward by the proper authority, its meaning is revealed, and then one no longer has any doubts about it. सर्वग अनंत विभु वैकुंठादि धाम कृष्ण कृष्ण अवतारिर ताहि विश्राम सर्वग all pervading anant unlimited vibhu greatest vaikunthadi dham all the places known as vaikuntha loka krishna of lord krishna avatarir of the incarnations of lord krishna tahai vishram there the residence. Translation: that Vaikuntha region is all pervading, infinite, and supreme. It is the residence of Lord Krishna and his incarnations.